Now, another interesting change that we have had in our dynamics of the transits is that our nodal environment has shifted into a frequency that is fourth line, which is about friendliness. It's about influence. It's about externalization. You might be noticing the talking heads being kind or mean, and those are the things that we can watch out for. Now, more specifically, let's start with the South Node, where we have breakthrough, the gate of insight, and the fourth line reads the one-track mind. Mercury exalted, the over-reliance and stubborn obsession with one's mental abilities in the face of recurring obstacles. This design, given mercurial gifts, may though rarely succeed. A stubborn reliance on one's unique insights that demands focused mental ability to be properly conceptualized. And this stage upon which this background is set of our lives, designed to influence us to see a one-tracked way, is moving towards splitting apart. The gate of assimilation, 23, in the line for fragmentation, diversification without a perceived potential for synthesis is what we're learning about. Sun exalts this line. Fatalism and egoism, and damn the consequences. Individual expression which has no collective value. Or Earth detriments this line. Atheism and paranoia. Individual expression which engenders isolation and fear. So what we can watch out for are the I know it all boxes, being kind or mean with the questions that they're asking, the questions that they're posing. Attempting to influence people to see things in a very one-tracked or maybe one-sided way. Okay, and our Mercury has moved into the fourth line as well, our communication and thinking. The return, the gate of rationalization. Fourth line is the Hermit. Isn't that interesting? Normally we associate second line with the word hermit, but when you start to study the Rei Ching, you'll notice repeating recurring thematics found in different places. So here's one of those places. The 24, line 4, is we are learning about transformation that can only take place in isolation. Saturn exalted, the discipline and focus that assures renewal. Aloneness enriches the potential for rational thought. And Mercury detriments this line, the tendency in isolation to live in a fantasy world. Aloneness encourages the potential of illusion or delusion. Boy, can you hear that calling? Absolutely. Illusion or delusion. Can you choose your illusion, or is it just a delusion? Now, we have shifted also with Jupiter into the third line, crisis, the darkening of the light. Third line reads transition. So there's a law coming in where we're learning about the point at which decline has exhausted its power. Jupiter detriments this line, so it reads the tendency in renewal to try to assimilate the remains of the old order into the new, with the risk that it may rise against the new order once it has regained its strengths. The embrace of change, but with feelings that will not let go of the past. So we've moved out of that tight conjunction of Neptune with Jupiter here. And you might notice more of those feelings which bring on crisis that may be shared. If you are experiencing that, make sure to take a deep breath. Come back home to your center, whatever that happens to be for you, your authoritative process. And let's see, Venus has also shifted. Venus in the gate of doubt are values and relating, bringing mores. Here it's called after completion in the Rei Ching. First line is about composure, the quality of personality where achievement is accepted with equanimity and where continued development is allowed to take its natural course. In other words, acceptance of achievement, but doubt whether continued development will take place. And Mars detriments this line. The tendency in achievement to immediately seek new goals at the risk of destabilizing what has already been accomplished. The pressure in achievement to still doubt one's capacities and to immediately seek new goals. You can see that's up there in the head center. Now to finalize, I'm just going to create a quick connection chart and show you how exciting this is for me to experience with awareness, watching the transits and as it moves through me, feeling what's going on. I have the entire middle of the body graph lit up thanks to this transit. So that wacky weirdness, yeah, been hearing it, been seeing it expressed out into the world, because we are not just this. This is the way that we make decisions. But what we're making decisions about is what is moving through us, what we are learning about. When you have your strategy and authority, it operates like an umbrella. Here's the weather. Here's Laveena with your weather report. And here's your umbrella, your strategy, honoring your authoritative process. So remember, you have your strategy and your authority to shield you from the weather, the experience of the transits bombarding all of us when it comes to all of these experiences that we may or may not take in. Remember, for you, as yourself, honoring the body knows best. Namaste.